Hi chess friends, this is King's Executor covering round 6 of the Chess Candidates Tournament 2013 held in London, and I was skipping round 5 because it was kinda not so decisive and quite drawish. So this is the game Peter Svidler against Magnus Carlsen, Carlsen having the black pieces and playing the main line Spanish. After d3, b5, gaining a tempo, and d6, getting ready to castle. Some knight a5 is in the mix. Even at some point knight b8 is in the mix, just to get that knight out of the possibility to push c5 and expand on the queenside. a4 to probe on black's queenside pawns, and I think there are moves like rook b8 here, for example, but Carlsen chose b4, knight bd2, castles, and a5 to blockade that possibly defending pawn here. Bishop e6, neutralizing white's active bishop. Knight c4 to stop that idea. Okay, maybe you would think, what if d5 to kick that knight? Well, then simply e5 drops. So this is why this knight is secure there for now. Rook b8, c3, takes, and h6 to get to keep any pieces out of g5. From now on, black plays his plan. After rook e1, queen c8, bishop retreats, maybe preparing at some point d4, and then trying to activate this bishop on this diagonal after some exchanges in the center. And of course the queen was watching over the bishop here, which is under pressure, or it was under pressure, and now the queen is free to move. Rook d8, queen e2, bishop f8. Well, that bishop takes any sacrifices at any point out of the question, defends the king side, and frees the e7 square for a knight to help defending if needed. Knight e3, and now black gets into action with d5. Takes. Knights are exchanged, and it's interesting that black seems to be more active with his rooks, but therefore these bishops seem to be indirectly more active against black's king side. h3, bishop f5, again trying to neutralize the indirect white bishop diagonal. Rook d1, queen e6, bishop b1. Well, now both sides try to activate their pieces the best way. I think bishop b1 of course is threatening bishop a2 here, pinning the rook. So queen d7, bishop e3, and e4. Well, we have 1, 2, 3 pieces attacking the pawn, and this is the fourth force here, and only 1, 2, 3 defending it. Now it gets in between to release some pressure on d3. That knight is exchanged off. Pawn takes pawn. And, well, now we seem to have a rather equal game. But the question is which opponent has targets to aim at. And I think this very much advanced pawn here is kinda a target for black. Whereas this pawn, it's not so clear. I think black can defend his targets better than white. But of course, that has to be proven first. c5 to kick the bishop. The bishop attacks the rook. So we have an exchange of rooks. c4 to protect d3 and open up the dark square diagonal, making this bishop a better bishop. And now bishop c5. Well, black seems a little bit more active. This pawn's kind of blockade any attempt for white to overprotect a5 easily without losing the control of the center or the king side. Rook b1. Of course, there are always back rank threats of check here, maybe first queen here attacking that pawn, looking at that diagonal, and check with mate, so that if black plays carelessly would lose a c pawn for him, probably. So queen d5 covering d4, rook b8 check, and queen h5. Just let's drop back. The best move the engine suggests is rook e8 to overprotect that bishop, to have an indirect connection of the heavy pieces, and then queen d7, and the rook has to retreat, and then again say rook here or a8, it doesn't matter. Now again this square is vacated and the queen is threatening to get there. Okay, let's drop back. This is of course a tense position. Svidler tried to trap Magnus here with queen h5, and Magnus found the strongest move here to continue. If you want to pause the video, please go ahead and do it. By far the best move here is queen e4. Of course the threat is, let's give white a move here. Check, and if g6, then we have mate, and well, I think there's even rook check immediately, takes, check, and mate. So in this position the threat is again rook check and queen f5, and queen e4 cuts that out. And now white has to worry about back rank problems if the queen ever loses control of these light square diagonal, of course. The bishop is kinda hanging. The queen seems to be overloaded soon. Rook b2 to cover f2 probably, and yeah, it just looks like a very tense position. And again, in this position, you can go ahead and pause the video and try to find the winning move, which is obviously the move rook d5. And sorry, I got something in my eye there. Now rook e2 was played after rook d5 by black, and the simple move just to move on is queen b1 check. And after Svidler plays king h2, the winning move was f6, and the bishop is pinned. The queen is watching over any checks by this queen, and this lost a piece here for Svidler. This is why he resigned. Okay, I hope you liked the coverage of this game of the day choice of round 6. See you next time. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, of course. Thanks.